What's up, Moto fans? Michael here at Moto Machines, and today we're going to be continuing our Triumph Tiger 900 build series with an installation guide of the Hepco Becker Side Carriers. If you're looking to add some luggage to your motorcycle, look no further than the Hepco Becker Side Carrier. It is the best option for mounting cases to that bike. Even if you don't have a Tiger 900, we have plenty available on our website, motomachines.com, so head on over and find one for your make and model. Now, what's great about this side carrier is it's compatible with every Hepco Becker side case made, as well as most universal soft bags. And it also features a high quality steel tubing, so it's going to be nice and rigid for those heavy cases and whatever else you're going to strap to them. Now, with all that being said, let's get this installation underway. All right, installation is relatively straightforward, but as you can see, we already took the passenger and rider seat off. You're going to have to do that to get to the bolts that are going to allow you to unbolt these and put the side carrier on. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off the passenger pegs. So put the ratchet in a loosen, and then you're going to come down here and just crack it loose. And then when you remove one bolt, you just got to be a little careful because it'll want to kind of drop on you like it is now. And then we're just going to unhook that, give the pegs some support, and take the bolts out. So we only showed the removal of one passenger peg. You're gonna have to remove the other side as well, so don't forget about that, and then keep those bolts and that passenger peg if you're gonna keep them. If not, you can throw them away or do whatever you want with them. The next step we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here and remove 3 bolts. That's for this tray here. We're gonna remove this bolt, and this bolt back here. Reason being, so we can pull this tray out to get access to the nuts behind these grab rails. So we're gonna bust these loose. Sure it's stuck on the turn signal. Take all those out. Now, the bolt for the Triumph logo on the rear of the bike is slightly shorter than these 2 bolts up front, so keep that in mind and just try to keep that bolt with that Triumph logo so you're not putting in too long of a bolt. Oh, dropped it. We'll grab that later. Pull that out, and like I said, take that Triumph logo bolt and stick that in there. All right, next step is going to be removal of the tool tray. Now, this is a hinge system. If you try to lift this whole thing up, it's not gonna come out because the hinge here is blocking it. So really what you're just gonna do is you're gonna get under the hinge here. Matter of fact, I think I'm just gonna take a wrench and make it easy on myself and get that under there, and you just unhook those right there, and that comes up like that. You don't have to remove it. If you want, you can, but it's totally unnecessary. And then what we're gonna do here, yes, that's why it's not coming up. So if you look, I forgot 2 bolts, my apologies, but there's bolts here and here as well. Let Andrew get in there with the camera, and we're gonna remove those too. Now these are the same length as the ones up front that we removed already. And then you notice how I dropped that bolt earlier. Make sure you don't do that because trying to pull a bolt out of that bike is, it's kind of like a black hole. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna possibly struggle getting that bolt back out. There's so many electronics and stuff that it's a little difficult. So try your best not to do what I did and drop the bolts. Almost out on both of these. Okay, that one's out. And I'm just gonna leave those bolts in the little tray that they're in. And the next step is we're going to have to finagle this out behind this bit. Personally, if you just come this way, it should come out relatively quickly, just like that. I'm gonna spin this around and lay it like that. After removing those bolts, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the side carrier. A couple things to note. A, being I'm only gonna show you how to install the exhaust side carrier. Reason being, it's the exact same as the left side, and it would honestly just be a little bit repetitive for you. It's gonna be the exact same, nothing changes, just bolt them up the same. The other thing I wanna mention is there are 2 different length bolts. There's long ones and there's short ones. for these ones here. The long ones are gonna go down here on this base one, and then the shorter ones are gonna go up top. Reason being is it's just a lot of plastic to go through there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of our long bolts, mock the side carrier up to the bike, thread it through, push it through the bottom there without marring up everything. And then we're gonna take a washer and a lock nut. Now the washer is going to not thread, but just be placed on the bolt as such. And then the lock nut's gonna go on top. And then just get these hands started. We can go back through and tighten them later. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna make this easier on myself. I'm gonna take the corresponding Allen, put it there, and just twist it on. All right, like I said, hand tight. And then we're gonna take a shorter bolt and just repeat the process here. And then always double check your work, make sure that's the shorter bolt. Put it up through. So it's kind of, just half sticking out there. Place the washer over the hole. And then grab that same Allen I used and just kind of, can't really see. Again, remember what I said about dropping things? Please don't drop these. And then you're gonna do the exact same for the other side. Now, we're gonna come back and put the passenger peg back on. Again, the same as the other side. So you're gonna need those passenger peg bolts. I don't know why I clicked that down, but I'm gonna put that there. We're gonna need our Torx bit that we reused to remove them. And then you're just gonna thread those back in. Again, hand tight. They don't have to be, super tight right off the bat. You can go back through and retighten everything. Struggling with this one. I'm not sure why. There we go. All right, again, hand tight. They don't have to be, super tight right off the bat, but that's on there. Just go through, tighten everything down, repeat the process for the other side, and you're almost done. All right, so the very last part of the install is to install this bracing bow here. You're gonna need the smallest screws supplied with the kit. And then basically you're just gonna grab those and grab your 10mm if you can find it, and then take the screw and just start to thread it in by hand. And then once you got one side down, you can either do the other if you don't want to hold it up the entire time, or you can do one side at a time, whatever you'd like, really. And make sure they have the washers on them as well. Well, that was the installation of the Hepco Becker Side Carrier on the Tiger 900. As you can see, it was relatively straightforward. If you're interested in more content like this, click the card in the top right-hand side of the screen to see the entire build series on this bad boy, and ride safe. If you're still here with us, enjoy some B-roll.